So, Russell Crowe and a horror film. The Pope's Exorcist. Does this film work? Is the devil in the detail? Let's find out. So welcome back to the channel, everyone, and welcome to a new movie review, and that being for the 2023 Russell Crowe starring horror movie, The Pope's Exorcist. Yes, this film comes at us directed by Julius Avery, who had previously directed movies like Samaritan, starring Sylvester Stallone, and Overlord, if you remember that one. It comes written by Michael Petroni, Evan Spiliotopoulos and Ardeen McCreary. 3 writers in total. Obviously the film does star Russell Crowe as Father Gabriel Amorth, Daniel Zavato as Father Esquibel, Alex Esso as Julia, Franco Nero as the Pope, Laurel Masden as Amy, and Peter D'Souza as Henry. Yes, so this film here, Pope's Exorcist. Now, first of all, I didn't know that this is actually based on a true person, on a true story. Father Gabriel Amorth was actually a real priest who was the Pope's exorcist. This film is set in the sort of late 1980s. This was a real thing, and this comes from his case files. So this film, I didn't know this until the end of the film, when a bit of a blurb comes up about him, and then I had to look him up, and lo and behold, he's a real individual. Wow. So much like the Conjuring franchise, being sort of loosely based in reality on the case files of, I forget their names now, my mind's gone blank, but this one as well is, you know, so interesting. So this film here, we're obviously introduced to Father Gabriel Amorth. We're introduced to him performing an exorcism. Now, we come to find out the exorcism he's performing isn't actually real, in that the individual he's performing it on isn't actually possessed by any demonic force or spirit. That it's actually a mental health issue more than anything else. And in most cases of exorcism, it turns out to be something far less sinister, shall we say, than a demonic possession. So this has him doing what he does, but the church doesn't agree with his methods. The church is in flux, is in change, in that you've got the old beliefs and you've got the new beliefs that don't really buy into exorcisms and all this sort of stuff. That sort of stuff is hokey wokey, a bygone era of belief, shall we say. So thusly we're then introduced to this family. Like I said, Alex Esso playing Julia. She's got 2 kids, a teenage daughter who's a kind of standard teenage daughter in this sort of fare. You know, she's a bit brash, she doesn't want to be where she's at and all this sort of a thing. They're Americans, they've moved to Spain, into this abbey which was left to them by her husband, that come from her husband's family, and they're there to get it fixed up, to get rid of it, basically, so they can move back to America. They got their young son there as well, Peter D'Souza playing Henry. Now, this character hasn't spoke in the context of the narrative of the film for over a year, since his father passed away in a car crash, which he witnessed. He was in the car as well. And while there, they unearth something. This demonic force gets out. It possesses the young boy. The priest is called in, played by Russell Crowe, and thusly the story starts to unfold. I'm not going to go any further into the story. That's the setup for the film, the setup for the goings on for this movie. Now, I'd seen one trailer for this, and I was quite intrigued by it, primarily because of the casting of Russell Crowe, him taking on a role such as this. I didn't know if it would work or not. I was shocked because when I started watching the film, in that I thought the film was actually something set during sort of an older period in time. Not that it was more modern day. I say modern day, bloody hell, 35 years ago. But that's me saying modern day. Yeah, so this film, I can't say anything bad about it. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It runs for 1 hour and 43 minutes, like I said, rated 15. But Russell Crowe in this film as Father Gabriel Amorth, he's fantastic. He's a nuanced character. He's a character that, you know, he's got history, he's got backstory. You feel it in Russell Crowe's performance that this is an individual that has been doing this for some time. He's seen some stuff. He's, you know, even though we come to find out that only 2% of what he does is actually real possessions, the other being mental illness, and he knows this, you know, but every so often the true evil strikes, and thusly in turn in this event it did. Yeah, so, but the film's got a great deal to say about, you know, the church of old against the church of new, those beliefs. Now, I'm not a believer in anything religious or anything like that. It's not for me. But I don't knock anyone that holds these beliefs. And in fact, I'm actually intrigued. I'm very much intrigued by the beliefs that these people hold and what they believe, the arguments that they have for stuff. And this film fuels some of those arguments against the old and the new rhetoric of the church. And in that, I found something that I could sink my teeth into and really get a hold of. Now, the film isn't really full of jump scares. There's moments that might scare you. There's moments of blood and violence and this sort of a thing throughout the film. But it's all about character. It really is about character. Daniel Zavato as Father Esquibel, again, a character that's got a lot of depth to him. We come to find out about these characters' fears and what fuel their fears and some of their past and what they've done and the stuff that they're holding on to that they haven't let go of, the stuff that they're not forgiven themselves for, that the evil, the devil, or whatever you want to call it, the spirit can use against them. It's really fantastic stuff. The film is well acted. It's beautifully shot. The location that it's set in, you know, even if it is on soundstage or whatever, it looks fantastic. It's a lot of character to it. The lighting, music in this film is done by Jed Kurzel, who'd also done the score for Samaritan Overlord, that were directed by Julius Avery, the same director here. So obviously they're working in unison. I can't really say I noticed anything in the score that jumped out at me, but it served its purpose where it required within the context of the film. This is a film I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed it. And, you know, I think that's basically primarily carried on the back of Russell Crowe more than anything else. And coming to find out at the end that it's actually based on some sort of true case file of this real priest, Father Gabriel Amorth, who worked directly for the Pope. It just elevated it that much more for me because of my disbelief in this sort of a thing and the intrigue that comes into play here. Yeah, so a thoroughly enjoyable film, one that I will certainly get on physical media, one that I will look forward to rewatching. So there we go. So have you seen this film? Do you like Russell Crowe? Don't you like Russell Crowe? Any comments? Always welcome down below. The subscribe button is there for you to press to come and join the channel. So why not do that as well? And let's talk about film. Take care all and have a good day.